Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, June 12th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. An amazing sun diving comet may have triggered a huge backside eruption. Good news, Earth is not in the way. Hey, keep calm. It's boom time. Have you seen what happened in Florida today? A tropical rainstorm has delivered 17 inches of rain in the last 24 hours across South Florida. We were only predicting 14, but there is certainly a lot of water in Florida. Take a look at some of this video here. Roads look more like rivers, and we have more footage at Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave on X. So come over and check out some of the footage from Florida earlier today. What else do we have here? Take a look at this. Looks like they're driving in a lake there. Holy macaroni. And Miami got smashed, as well as many other, and getting smashed right now. Miami, here's Fort Lauderdale.
Absolute lake here on Andrews Road. I don't know if I should go to the left or the right. If I can get through this lake here. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad, folks. And there you can see that rain plume there. Ongoing, catastrophic, and life-threatening flash flooding is expected to continue for at least 3 hours. And then in 6 or 12 hours from now, it's going to explode again over Florida. We'll show you the models in just a moment. Severe weather is set to strike millions across the Midwest in cities like Chi-Town, Minneapolis, and Kansas City. Wednesday's storms could become supercells capable of large hail greater than 3 inches in diameter, damaging wind gusts up to 65 and a couple of tornadoes. Haven't seen any hail reports from today as the Northeast faces its first heat wave of 2024 after severe storms. Millions across the Northeast will have to contend with the round of severe weather before widespread heat builds up, including the potential for temperatures approaching potentially the 100-degree mark. The first extended stretch of summertime heat is on the way. Here's the thunderstorm setup Friday and Friday evening, with the surge of heat and humidity moving all the way up towards New York. Certainly Philly is going to be right in the center of that. And then severe storms pop up Friday afternoon and evening for the entire I-95 corridor in the Northeast. Here's the full forecast. Heavy rain and flooding threat continues in South Florida. Severe thunderstorms from the Central Plains to the Great Lakes. Heavy to excessive rainfall will continue to bring flooding, with locally considerable flash and urban flooding possible through Friday over the southern Florida peninsula. Severe thunderstorms are forecast across the Central Plains and Central Great Lakes this afternoon and evening, with very large hail, destructive wind gusts, and a couple of tornadoes possible. Heed the warnings and click on your county if you would like more information on the warnings that are currently up. Here is the GFS model. You can see that Miami area is pretty much in the dark red. And 3 hours from now, it looks like it's going to calm down a little and move offshore. 6, 9 hours, 12 hours from now in the morning, it's going to begin again in the same flooded areas. Also showing up on the map what it could be the first hurricane right there of the season, making landfall June 24th here. Well, they're showing maybe Alabama or the Panhandle. Take a look at that. 990 millibars, maybe a Cat 1, but a tropical storm nonetheless. Earthquake study suggests the big one could be much worse than expected. Take a look. This is Cascadia.
First picture scientists have ever seen of one of the most hazardous earthquake spots on Earth, and it sits a little bit less than 1,000 kilometers off our coast.
It's like when you're at the eye doctor's office and you have sort of a fuzzy view when they put those initial lenses on and everything's fuzzy. So what we're getting now is a much clearer picture.
A study released recently details the potential of the Cascadia subduction zone. The data showing two pieces of the Earth's crust sliding against each other and are alarmingly smooth, capable of magnitude 9 earthquakes and generating massive waves.
Those conditions, flat, smooth, fault interface, are conditions that are associated with the most destructive earthquakes.
The new findings come from research conducted over 41 days along the coasts of BC, Washington, and Oregon. New technology allowing researchers to send waterproof cables deep into the ocean with 1,200 specialized microphones attached. And the data now goes to earthquake modelers to make more accurate predictions.
It's a first-order constraint for their models and will allow them to develop much better models than they've had in the past.
And while the advances in technology makes it easier to better detect the size of a potential earthquake or the location, but what still is very unclear is when that big one may arrive.
There's a huge range. We have 19 during the past 10,000 years. So roughly every 400 or 500 years.
The last major earthquake along the fault line is estimated to have been in January of 1700. The province will now use this current information to help better prepare.
Our understanding of these risk factors, they continue to evolve as more data and research becomes available. So continuous scientific research is incredibly important to helping ensure that our seismic standards are aligned with what's actually needed to keep people and communities safe.
The province once again using these findings to remind people to have an emergency plan and be ready for what this clear earthquake picture could produce. Richard Zussman, Global News, Victoria.
There you heard it. The only problem is they're talking about a 9 magnitude earthquake at a periodicity of 400 to 500 years. What they don't tell you is an 8 or 8.5 happens every 250 years, and they are overdue for an 8 or an 8.5 on Cascadia. So if you can get out of this region, I suggest you do, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Seismic update. No quakes of note, normal activity worldwide. Good news. Worldwide volcano news. Dukono to 9,000 feet. Ibu to 16. Sabancaya to 24. Merapi to 14,000 feet. Liwatobi to 10. Semeru to 15. Nevado de Ruiz puffing today. Popo to 19. Sangay to 19. Take a look. The eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula continues with lava flowing to the northwest. Sabancaya, intermittent emissions to 27,000 feet, Liwatobi to 10, Merapi to 14. The eruption continues at Reykjanes out of the main vent. Dukono to 8, Semeru to 15, Sangay to 22, and that wraps up Worldwide Volcano News. Space weather up next. A large solar eruption took place behind the West Limb beginning at 22:30 UTC, June 11th. An energetic full halo mass ejection was observed by LASCO shortly thereafter and is directed directly away from Earth. Good news. The source of this latest event is likely our old friend AR 3697 or 3664, which is the sunspot group that created the superstorm back in May. Hey, let's take a look at this Farside eruption. Here you can see the halo in reverse there. We'll just try to turn this down a little bit here. You can see it exploding beyond the West Limb and a few other factors. And then we'll go check out LASCO's C2 and C3 ourselves because there was a beautiful sun-diving comet that occurred today. You can see low-level activity all last 48 hours. 3-day geomagnetic forecast is quiet. KP's been below 2 for over a day and very few sunspots on the disk. Now let's take a look at this amazing sun-diving comet. May have triggered, boom, that Farside eruption. We've seen this before, and sun-diving comets, boom, the energy of the comet interacting with the solar corona, perhaps, and triggering these booms. Pretty fantastic there. And see if you can spot it on LASCO C3. Right there, coming in. Really tiny. And we'll look at it again. This is a much different vantage point. There it is right there. You can only see the very last part of it because the magnification on this is much different. So there you have it. Beautiful sun-diving comet and Farside eruption. Now take a look at this. This is the total number of resets on cell phones observed across devices that were active during the superstorm. High solar flare activity, May 12th here, and they're making a connection here. Here is that superstorm day. Here's the KP7, KP9 on the 10th, KP11 or KP9 on the 11th, and you can see what's happening there with some problems with cell phones. The title of the article is Solar Storms Break Millions of Smart Devices, and we will link it below. The fifth helium leak is detected on Boeing's Starliner. We couldn't have guessed anything more than that. I imagine there'll be 8 leaks by next week. This is crazy. A Harvard study claiming that aliens might be living among us disguised as humans, or perhaps in a base inside the moon, according to a Harvard study. Can you believe this? A new paper suggests extraterrestrials could be living underground or in a base on the moon. The study by Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program further puts forward the idea that UFOs or UAPs may be spaceships visiting Earth-based alien friends. What say you? Leave a comment below. Awesome discovery. Ernest Shackleton's last ship may have been found on the ocean floor, and you're looking at an image of that, a sonar image of the sunken vessel that went down the 5th of May, 1962. Wreck hunters have found the ship on which the most famous polar explorer Ernest Shackleton made his final voyage. The vessel, called Quest, has been located on the seafloor off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. Shackleton suffered a fatal heart attack on board on the 5th of January, 1922, while trying to reach the Antarctic. Although the Quest continued in service until it sank in 1962, the earlier link with the explorer gives it great historical significance. Take a look at this article, really trippy. The new math of how large-scale order emerges. The puzzle of emergence asks how regularities emerge on macro scales out of uncountable constituent parts. A new framework has researchers hopeful that a solution is near. As we're looking here at Jupiter's Great Red Spot, seen in this animation based on Voyager 1 and Hubble images, has swirled for hundreds of years, exemplifying the way large-scale patterns and organization can arise from innumerable microscopic interactions. Fascinating. And if you haven't seen it, you want to know what else is fascinating? Ashton Forbes' over unity and free energy discussion we had on Magnetic Reversal News the other night. Not a lot of people have seen it. It is a fantastic discussion. Please go over and watch. Give it a thumbs up and share it with like-minded people. We would appreciate that. We also want to remind you that one of our affiliates is Jace Medical for your own personal medication supply without anyone knowing. You can be prepared today. This is the leading authority in emergency preparedness medication. 28-plus medications such as ivermectin, antibiotics, antimalarials, EpiPens, and more. Customize your case and get it sent directly to you. Also, you can get a backup prescription supply, a 12-month extended supply of your current daily prescription meds. So, well, you don't die in a grid down scenario or something. Get yourself some peace of mind. Go over and visit Jace Daily Prescription Supply. Click our affiliate link and support the channel and support your preparedness. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom.